Hello everybody and welcome back to Dr. Ghost Games. If y'all are new to the channel, welcome. I'm Dr. Ghost and I make content for the game World of Warships Legends. I thank you all for stopping by the channel, and if you guys are returning viewers and you guys haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to go down and do that. And yeah, without further ado, we are going to be on Hotspot. It is going to be a domination mode. We are going to be in some low-tier matches today. And yeah, we're going to be taking out an old ship, and that is the Tier 4 Tech Tree American Dreadnought Battleship, the New York. So, yeah, lately I've been doing a lot of videos in some higher tiers, you know, and I've done a Somers video the other day. And by the way, I do have another video out tomorrow in the Somers, and it's an absolutely awesome match, and I can't wait to show you guys that tomorrow. So, yeah, stay tuned for that, guys. But, so yeah, we're going to be in the New York, and we're going to be having some fun here in some Tier 4 lobbies, and hopefully we're going to do pretty well. I like to have a variety on the channel. I don't just like to play high tiers. I like to go down here and show these low tiers some love as well, and it can be quite fun. So, yeah, so what do we know about the New York? Well, the New York, of course, has 14-inch guns, just like the Texas. If you guys aren't aware, the Texas in the game is a premium version of the New York. It's one of the ships of the New York class of battleships. And by the way, we just citadeled that Iron Duke there with our 14-inch main guns for 12,000 damage. Now, I'm going to go into the settings a couple times. I've been tweaking my settings a bit lately because I've been on PC for the past week most of the time, doing a lot of things. So when I come on here and play a console game, yeah, it definitely feels weird, so I'm tweaking my sensitivity a bit, but don't mind that at all. Now, we fire off another salvo at the Wyoming, and it looks okay, and yeah, actually, we do manage to get a Citadel, so that's our second Citadel of the game. We're up to 28,000 damage, but yeah, so what do we know about the New York? I think I was talking about. So, the New York, like I said, has 14-inch main guns. At this tier, 14-inch guns are basically very common. A majority of the battleships at this tier do have 14-inch guns. Some of them have smaller guns, like the Koenig, or there are some battleships that do have smaller guns than 14-inch guns. But yeah, the New York, don't mess with it, guys. The New York has great guns, and if you guys, you know, mess up, I mean, even on that angled Congo there, we're penning the crap out of them. But the main thing about it at this tier is most of the people you fight don't have very good armor. Even the battleships don't have very good armor, apart from the Russians maybe, or the Italians, or, you know, if you angle well against 14-inch main batteries, you could still bounce them. But, yeah, but a majority of the ships you fight, you can overmatch. That Congo there, I can almost pen him anywhere. I could pen pretty much anybody anywhere if I know where to aim. Especially on the bows, because the majority of the battleships at this tier have 19 millimeters of armor and on the bow. So it's quite easy to do damage. It just matters to where you aim, knowing the weak spots, etc. Now, one thing to mention, the AA on this ship is not that good. It's okay, but it's not that great. If you guys are wanting a... Well, if you guys like the New York, and you guys are wanting maybe another New York class of battleships, you guys should maybe go consider picking up the Tier 4 premium battleship, the Texas. I believe it is in the in-game World of Warships Legends store. I believe the pack is called The Living History. If you guys scroll through there, you guys should probably see it. It's a $10 pack. And it's actually quite worth it, because the Texas usually costs $25 USD. I believe that's around 30 euros or whatever. But you guys are getting a bit of a deal there, and you guys get some extra stuff as well. I highly suggest having the Texas either way, though. The Texas has fantastic AA. Anywhere they could put AA on the Texas, they plastered that baby with it. And not to mention, the gun firing angles are a little bit better. Someone pointed out of one of my more previous videos in the New York that I had from a while ago, that the New York's middle turret cannot shoot at a very good angle, because there is a lifeboat there that blocks its firing angles. So you have to go almost completely broadside to get a full salvo off in the New York. However, when you are turning away, you are actually in a better situation than the Texas. But if you are going at the enemy, the Texas has better firing arcs. So, sorry guys, I'm getting my words all twisted up. I haven't had much sleep, but yeah. So I don't know. The New York is a good ship if you play it well. It's like I say a lot of the time. Even in Tier 4 or whatever, really whatever ship you play, it's all about positioning. That's literally what this game is all about: positioning your ship, not rushing straight in. Essentially, using islands. And by the way, we just smacked the living crap out of that Wyoming. Bringing our damage up to 78,277. But yeah, it's all about positioning, especially in a very slow battleship. And also awareness is very important as well. Notice I'm looking around the map quite a bit, making sure there's nobody sneaking up. I'm paying attention also, guys, to the top left, the mini-map. It's very, very, very important. Now, also, I'm looking at the points as well. We are doing quite well. We have 2 capture zones, which means we're going to be getting points. Now, we did manage to flip the capture zone on this side, which is great. So we're going to be getting more points for that, more XP, etc. Just doing what needs to be done to win this game. And guys, even when you are in a battleship, you guys can still cap zones and get points for your team. Now, notice that we are trying to roll around this island here and surprise this Congo. This Congo seems to be completely oblivious to the fact that I'm rolling around here, and I'm aiming right at him and hoping these guns are going to absolutely smack the crap out of him. And they do a little bit of damage. I let a little bit back because he looks like he's backing up. Hopefully, I could have got some shells land into his bow. Because what do we know, guys?
That's how it's done.
We know that the Congo only has around a 19mm bow, which means 14-inch guns can overmatch. And the guns will go straight through there and potentially even citadel him. But that's if we get very lucky. Now, we are about to have another reload off, and this time he is directly bow on. All I have to do is aim smack dab in the center there, right on his bow, and my shells should just go straight through that like butter. And yes, they do. We get much better results. We get 3 penetrations, 1 overpen, and a couple ricochets. I think the ricochets are from the shells landing on the Congo's belt armor. So it looks like the Congo is pushing me. Thankfully, he has HE loaded, because if he had AP loaded, we know the New York and the Texas have a very, very exposed citadel. The New York and the Texas don't have very good belt. It's all just flat there. It's a raised citadel. It's very, very easy to citadel the New York class battleships in this game. But we're aiming a little bit in the front there to hopefully pen right there, and yes, we do. We hit him for about 20,000 damage. We even knock out one of his guns, I believe, and he is gonna die to the carrier's torpedoes from his torpedo bombers, and that is very good indeed. And that should be everybody cleared on this side of the map. And of course, the carrier gets a double fire on us. Not much we can really do about that. But yeah, we're up to 113,000 damage in a Tier 4 battleship. And anybody who says the New York is bad, well, on paper, yes, it does underperform a bit. It does have some weaknesses. But if you guys play your ship well, you guys position well, you guys, keep an eye on the map and watch where you're going. Don't be completely oblivious to everybody. Just be careful is all. And think ahead, especially. When you're in a slow battleship, you need to be thinking ahead. So that way, because if you get yourself into a situation, there's usually you cannot get out of it. These battleships do not have enough speed and maneuverability to maneuver and speed out of a situation. If you better be thinking ahead before you get yourself into something, because you can't get out of a situation. Really, you don't have the speed to disengage. So once you get yourself in the fight, there's no coming out of it, essentially, in these dreadnoughts. So, yeah. Now, notice we also have a high caliber metal as well. That's from all the damage we've been doing to all these people here. And we have been doing a pretty good job, I believe. The team, not to mention, has also been doing pretty well. Unfortunately, our destroyers, well, they didn't do extremely great, but they might have done something. I wasn't really paying attention, but if they did, good. And unfortunately, that torpedo does arm. You know what's annoying is it didn't even say it armed. It still wasn't even red, but it still blew up. There's nothing we can really do about that. Now, we are shooting down a few of these Komsomolets' planes here. Now, we don't have very good AA, but we still have AA, and it still can shoot down some planes. It still is battleship grade AA. And yeah, it's pretty good indeed. And we actually managed to drop a bomb on that Komsomolets there, getting a citadel and bringing our damage up to 131,000 damage. And yeah, we also got a Confederate medal as well. So I think this has been a pretty good match up to this point. And I'm going to tell you guys now, that's about the last bit of damage we're going to get. We're going to get a couple more salvos off on this Komsomolets, but it's just not going to really reward us here. We're trying to use our aim here, our aim assist that the game is, you know, great for. And we're hoping for a Citadel or even some penetrations just to take some health off them. And unfortunately, we get penetrations for no damage, which makes not much sense. Nothing we can really do about that. But that is basically going to be about it. That is the end of the match. And we just got to wait, basically, for this carrier to die. And of course, he can get bombs on us. And he hits us for about 6,000. Gosh darn. That's a lot of freaking damage. So not really much we can do about that. And we're still shooting down some of his planes as well. Now keep in mind, the tier 3 carriers all have biplanes. They're not the greatest planes in the world. So although, you know, the New York doesn't have the greatest AA and it doesn't, you know, par up to the Texas, it still can shoot down some planes. And we get robbed there. But it's okay, because we won the game, and that, at the end of the day, is all that matters. We did our part. We did our best, and yeah, 133,000 damage, Confederate high caliber, a few citadels. We've got some base captures, and of course, we were rewarded top of the leaderboard for our efforts. But yeah, I hope you all did enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Stay healthy, as always.